Hey guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about all of the March releases that I am excited for. So February was a crazy month for new releases. There were so many amazing ones, like Hero at the Fall, we had The Bells, Heart of Iron, Tempest and Slaughter, Beneath the Sugar Sky. We had so many, and March is no different. So I have compiled a list of all of the books that are coming out in March, and there are loads. So I've whittled the list down by thinking about the books that I am really excited for and ones that I will be pre-ordering or buying when they come out. So I've narrowed the list down to 10. Oh, that's a nice round number. So yeah, 10 books. And these aren't in chronological order either. I'm just going to reel them off as I've listed them down. And these are also the release dates for the UK. Release dates for the US might be a little bit different. They might come out before or after the UK release date. I don't know. But all of the release dates are taken from amazon.co.uk. If there are any books that I have missed off that are like incredibly hyped or absolutely amazing, or you think they're going to be amazing, let me know in the comments box below and I will check them out. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just get into the video. So the first book that I'm really excited for, and I have actually pre-ordered this, and that is Obsidio by Amie Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the third book in the Illuminae files. I don't know how many books there are going to be in this series, but it's just going to be so exciting to carry on this series. I haven't even read Illuminae or Gemini yet. They are on like this year's TBR list for me, but I haven't read them. But because the hype surrounding this series is crazy, then I've pre-ordered it, so at least I can just have it in my collection, and then when it does come out I can just binge read all three. So Obsidio is coming out on the 13th of March, so we've got 2 weeks to wait for that. The second book that I'm excited for is Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles, and this is coming out on the 20th of March. So Tyler Johnson Was Here is about Marvin Johnson's brother, well, twin brother called Tyler, and he goes to this party and Marvin just decides to tag along just to keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't get up to any mischief. And there's some fun going on in the party, but then that fun escalates and there's just this massive snowball effect and it turns into a shooting, which then turns into this huge police raid. The next day Marvin notices that Tyler has gone missing and there's this like whole search party for him, but then it later turns out that Tyler is dead. He's been found dead, and there's some video footage, and this video footage has been leaked, and it turns out that Tyler was actually shot by a police officer. So it's all about Marvin finding justice for his twin brother and learning to deal with what the justice system actually means and to navigate his way around that. And this is just going to be amazing. The cover is gorgeous, premise sounds fantastic, so I can't wait to get around to this. And like I said, this comes out on the 20th of March. The third book I'm excited for is The Little Book of Feminist Saints, and this is by Julia Pierpont, and this comes out on the 6th of March. So this is kind of like Goodnight Stories for rebel girls. It tells the story of 100 influential women throughout history and just gives a little bit of in-depth background information about all of these women. And I just think it's really important for authors or people in general to highlight influential male, females, trans people who kind of have done so much for the world, because it just gives little children or even people like me who are like 22, it gives people role models to look up to, and I just think that is so important. So I can't wait to get my hands on this book, and like I said, this comes out on the 6th of March. The fourth book is one that is very anticipated, one that I'm sure has been pre-ordered so much by a lot of people. I've pre-ordered it, and it comes out on the 8th of March, and it's Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and this is the first book in a trilogy or series. I'm not 100% sure, but there is a lot of hype and I mean a lot of hype surrounding this book. So this is actually a debut for Tomi Adeyemi. It is a West African fantasy novel. So basically there is magic in the world of Orisha, and one day the magic just suddenly disappears from the ground. There is a king and he kills everyone with magic in their blood, and he is hell-bent on getting rid of all magic in his kingdom. And that means that for our main character, who is Zélie, I really don't know how to pronounce her name, I am so sorry, but that means that her family is killed because they had magic, and she goes on this quest to kind of bring magic back to the kingdom and make it alive again. And she goes on this dangerous quest. She has to save this princess, and it just sounds brilliant. It's not based in West Africa, it's actually West African inspired fantasy, so it is a fantasy world but is inspired by West African influences and culture. What more can I say? This is a highly anticipated debut novel. It sounds fantastic, it sounds right up my alley with the fantasy elements and the quest, and it just sounds brilliant. That comes out on the 8th of March. The next book that I'm excited for is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and this is coming out on the 6th of March, so again we've got a week and a half-ish to wait. And this is a book about sirens. It kind of, well, to me sounds like it is The Little Mermaid inspired. It's about Princess Lyra, and she's siren royalty, and she's also the most lethal of all of the sirens. What she does is she kind of takes the heart of princes. She has the hearts of 17 princes in her collection. But there's this crazy twist of fate, and she is forced to kill one of her own. And to punish Lyra for doing this, the Sea Queen transforms Lyra into the thing that they hate the most, and that is a human. And because she's a human, that means Lyra is robbed of her song, so she cannot sing the way she did when she was a siren. And she has until the winter solstice to bring Prince Elian's heart back to the sea, otherwise the Sea Queen will keep her human forever. This is one that I'm really excited for. Like I said, it does have elements of Little Mermaid, I think, with like a siren, and she loses her voice and she's turned into human. It comes out on the 6th of March. The next one is one that I'm kind of apprehensive about, I guess, and it is called A Guide for Murdered Children by Sarah Sparrow, and it comes out on 22nd of March, and the blurb kind of sounds a little bit hazy to me, so I don't really know how to explain this, so I'm just going to kind of briefly read it out to you guys. So the blurb says, "We all say there is no justice in this world, but what if there really was? What if the souls of murdered children were able to briefly return to this world, inhabit adult bodies, and wreak ultimate revenge on the monsters who had killed them, stolen their lives?" So it sounds strange. Dead children coming back to inhabit adult bodies to seek revenge on the people who killed them. It sounds crazy. It sounds genre bending kind of way and mind twisting. Bit apprehensive about it because it does sound very strange, but I'm all for strange and it sounds good, so we shall see. Next one that I'm excited for is Black Monday Murders Volume 2, and this is by Jonathan Hickman. I haven't read Volume 1 yet, but it looks so good, and I'm just gonna get Volume 2 so I can binge read the graphic novels straight after each other. I don't actually know what Black Monday Murders is about, but it says in the title there's murder, so that makes me excited to read it. But all I know is that the second volume is coming out in March, and it comes out on March 27th. I had to look at my paper then because I completely forgot when it was coming out. Next one is Blood of a Thousand Stars by Rhoda Bellezza, and this is the second book in the Empress of a Thousand Skies series. Again, I haven't read the first book, so I have no idea what it's about. All I know is that it's a fantasy book. There's like queens and princesses, and I'm really excited to read something like that. And this is the second book, and it's coming out on the 13th of March, and that's all I know. So again, just excited to get the second one so I can binge read them both. The penultimate book in this list is The Invasion by Peter O'Gillen, and this is the second book in the Core series trilogy duology. I have no idea. I generally thought The Call would be just kind of like a standalone, but turns out it's not, because there's a second book. The Call is like a horror, thriller, supernatural novel, and a lot of people read it in October, and for good reason, because it is just very, very creepy. That comes out on the 1st of March, so we have a few days to wait, which is so exciting. And the last book on this list is People Like Us, and this is by Dana Meal. I really don't know. I'm so sorry, but this is like a contemporary thriller novel, and it kind of reminds me of One of Us Is Lying. This is about a character called Kay Donovan, and she has skeletons in her closet like everybody does, and she's like, you know what, the stuff that happened in my past, that's the past. I'm gonna move on with my life, I'm gonna reinvent myself, and that's what she does. Now she's a star football player, well, soccer player in America, but I'm gonna say football. She's a star football player, and she's friends with all the popular girls in a private school that she goes to. But then one day a girl's body is found in a lake, and slowly but surely Kay's life just starts to kind of collapse around her. And the dead girl in the lake has left Kay a kind of computer scavenger hunt to kind of find out the suspects of the murder and investigate them. And suddenly Kay finds herself in the middle of the murder investigation, which is always good. She's backed into a corner and she has to figure out what she's going to do, and if she's going to tell the truth, if she's going to lie. And so yeah, it does definitely have elements of One of Us Is Lying, and it kind of reminds me of 13 Reasons Why, with the leaving messages for the living. But then it also reminds me of Stags by M.A. Bennett, with the whole private school. So we have a bunch of YA contemporary thriller novels smushed into one, and I guess that's where People Like Us comes from. And this comes out on the 13th of March, and to be honest, I am really excited about this because I love reading YA thrillers. I just find them really, really interesting and fascinating, especially because there's not a lot of them out there at the moment, so it's definitely interesting to read them. Those are the 10 books that I am excited for that are coming out in March. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if there are any that I have missed out that you guys are really excited for, let me know in the comments box below. I would love to check them out and find new books for me to read and add to my Goodreads shelf. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!